I don't know if they ever did or not.
See those, the railroad port authority is letting a lot of those people, those trails run right beside the active railroad tracks.
Yeah.
They won't let us hear,
No.
us do it.
They won't let us say no. So I
Not
don't know.
very consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Glasses are steam now.
Five, four, three,
Let's just
two.
count. Good evening, everyone. It is 7:30, time to call the regular meeting of the Washington Courthouse City Council to order. We will begin with the invocation by Ms. Hernandez. Mr. Hawk will lead us in the pledge.
Please join me in prayer. Lord, thank you for our small community. Thank you for our family and our friends. And thank you for the privilege of knowing most in our area. Tonight and ongoing, I ask that you let us set aside our personal agendas and work together for the betterment of our community and for your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Johnson.
Here.
Lynch.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Blair.
Here.
Hawk.
Here.
Hernandez.
Here.
Chrisman.
Here. Mr. Lynch.
Okay, we've got several guests with us tonight. And we even have a guest that's not in my class. So I'm really happy tonight. We have two guests that aren't in my class. Three. Yeah, Claudia, will you start? Stand up and tell them your name and introduce your guest.
My name is Claudia, and this is my mother.
And we're glad to have you here, believe me. Now, Allie, will you go ahead, way back there in the back? She just came from basketball practice.
Hi, I'm Allie Mongold. Hi, I'm Megan Seaver.
You gotta stand up and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Callie.
Callie's not in my class, she's with her friends, so there you go. Okay,
I'm Addie Chambers. I'm Chelsea Dawson.
let's go. Troy, you got a whole harem here. How'd you get all these girls?
I'm Troy Thompson.
Kaylee.
Kaylee Merritt. Morgan Cartwright. Ariana Bagari.
Very good. These are some really great students and friends, and it's nice to have them here tonight. And so, anyway, thanks for coming, you guys.
Yes, thank you much. I appreciate it. Moving on to approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting held October 13th, 2021. Any questions, comments, corrections?
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as introduced.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes. Moving into business session, communications, Mr. Denon.
None.
Thank you. Report of council committees, I only see one, Mr. Hawk. Service, Safety, and Recreation.
The Service, Safety, and Recreation Committee met in the council chambers located at 105 North Main Street on Wednesday, October 13, 2021 at 6 p.m. Mr. Ted Hawk presided, and those in attendance were Mr. Steve Schultz, council member, Mr. Caleb Johnson, council member, Mr. Dale Lynch, council member, Mr. Jim Krinsman, council chairperson, Mr. Ron Sockman, service director, Mr. Jeff Inari, police chief, Mr. Tim Downing, fire chief, Mr. Joe Denon, city manager, and Mr. Mark Bitstick, city attorney. Number one, the committee benefited from a general report of the Washington Fire Department. Chief Downing discussed the fire training event to be demonstrated to the Washington Rotary Club. Chief Downing noted upcoming smoke detector distribution. Number 2, the committee benefited from a general report of the Washington Police Department. Chief Venari noted utilization of the digital speed sign. Number 3, the committee benefited from a review of service department projects. Mr. Sockman discussed the reservoirs being in good shape. Number 4, the committee noted the upcoming retirements of John Woodrow and Sherman Thacker. Number 5, Mr. Denon noted the promotion of Mr. Chris Grisby to the position of Assistant Superintendent at the wastewater treatment plant. Number 6, the administration advised the committee that the Court Street grant was moving forward. Number 7, the administration advised the committee that the water system leak detection would proceed in November. Number 8, the committee noted that the service department is currently placing Christmas lights in the downtown area and also on the Court Street Bridge. Number 9, the service department noted the collection of bagged leaves. Number 10, the committee was advised of the administration's need to increase street cut charges. Number 11, the administration advised the committee that salt is in good supply for the winter. Number 12, the administration advised the committee that plow trucks were being checked and prepped for the winter. Respectfully submitted, Ted Hawk, Chairperson, Service Safety and Recreation Committee. Mr. Joe Denon, Recording Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Hawk. Any questions, comments on Ted's report?
My name needs to be added, I was there.
I was there also.
Who's recording secretary?
Yes.
Yeah, who was that?
Be quiet. Oh, anything else on the report?
With those additions, I'll make a motion to accept it. Mr.
I'll second that.
Thank you both. Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Griswold.
Yes. Thank you, Ted, for your report. Reports of city officials, Mr. City Manager, Mr. Denon.
Thank you. 2020 census, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. You've all received in your mailboxes the official certification of a population for the city of Washington courthouse of 14,401 people.
Yay.
That is an increase from 14,192, a gain of 209 persons. We're gonna talk about some other census characteristics of the community, and the source for this is when I looked at that with the Census Bureau Quick Facts in August. For comparison, because some people get the population of Washington Courthouse, sometimes they don't think of that it's different than some of the other communities around us. Hillsborough is 6,481, Wilmington 12,664, Circleville 13,927, Washington Courthouse 14,401, and Chillicothe 22,059. Now, an important fact to remember is the whole population of the county in which the community resides, where there is some noticeable and notable differences. Fayette County, 28,951 people. The situation where the city's population represents half of the population of the county in a rural county, I haven't specifically looked for that, but I imagine it's rather unusual. Clinton County, much larger total population of 42,018. Highland County, 43,317. Then we changed quite a bit. Pickaway County, 58,539, and Ross County, which is 77,093, and also it's physically much bigger. It's just geographically, not only in terms of population, but there's more land in it. Washington Courthouse's population under 5 years of age, 7.40%. Under 18 years of age, 25%. And 65 years of age and over, 19%. Sometimes when you're a student in Dale Lynch's class, you think that everybody falls into the Dale Lynch category, which students can pick which one he belongs in. And that's not the case. Those demographics aren't bad at all. Median household income in 2019 2015 to 2019, 42,238, which of that group of communities is second on the list. Population 16 plus years in civilian labor force, 2015, 2019, 57.80%. Again, the source would be Census Bureau Quick Facts. This is interesting because it's different than those other communities. Race origin Washington Courthouse, 1.20% Asian, which is significantly more, even though it's very small, than those other communities that I've talked about. Hispanic Latino, 2.2%, and African American, 2.5%. In Hispanic Latino and Asian origin, it's noticeable that it's a bit higher in Washington Courthouse. And the foreign-born percentage of the population is also noticeably higher at a little bit more than 2%. The population of the county can have a dramatic impact on the perceived size of the city. Like some folks assume that we are a similar population to Hillsborough, which is radically different. But Hillsborough is in a county with a much higher overall population. And physically, Fayette County is not a huge space. Want to talk a little bit about the fire department. Expressed pride in the training demonstration that they did for Washington Rotary Club, and in particular, want to note Jason O'Dierno's contributions of the fire department to that effort. They did an exceptional job showing local citizens a number of training exercises and giving them an experience in a very controlled way of what it is that they do. And they did it exceptionally well. And I'm enormously proud of that effort and thank him. And that just went off exceptionally well. Also, they have been out, again, in partnership with the local Rotary Club, distributing smoke detectors, which that is a very basic safety precaution that all of us can take. And if your smoke detector begins to make that annoying noise and it's time to change the battery, when you take out the battery, put one back in. Because there's nothing more frustrating than when there's been a fire in a home and the smoke detector has not been in service. And that is a very easy safety precaution that we can all take. The street department of late I have been exceptionally pleased with. They have been working incredibly hard and doing it very well. Bagged leaves. You call the service department if you have bagged leaves at 636-2380. We'll do loose leaf collection. We'll start that a little bit later in the year. You do not have to call the service department for that, okay? You just gotta put your leaves out by the curb, okay, out front. But if you have bagged leaves and you want us to pick those up, you need to call service 636-2380. Please do not put trash in your bagged leaves. If it is supposed to be bagged leaves, don't toss other stuff in there, because we ideally are not taking those to the landfill. So do not put various trash in there. And, you know, for folks that are dealing with the bag leaves, if they have trash in there they don't expect, it can be quite unpleasant for them. New legislation, you have legislation that we need to pass for ODOT that will facilitate ODOT constructing a little bit more than 3 miles of bike trail. Really want to express thanks to the Park District. It's a little bit, I don't want to say unusual. The city owns the right of way, a great deal of it, to the Greene County line. And this will get connecting to a larger trail system, gets us 3 miles closer, okay? There is no cost to us. We just need to pass the legislation to facilitate this movement forward, and we're enormously pleased to be able to bring this opportunity to you, and again, express our thanks to the Park District, which has also worked on some other right-of-way issues to continue to further that greater goal. Electrical vehicle charging. The Jetson age has come at Main and East, hopefully before the end of the year. In very short order, we'll be installing a public electrical vehicle charging station. That will be level 2 charging, okay? Level 1 is basically like the equivalent if you plugged into a regular outlet like that. Level 2 charging is what in most of the time the most common type of charging station somebody with an electrical vehicle is going to encounter. Level 3 charging is something called rapid charging, which involves a whole lot bigger electrical preparation, and you go about it a whole lot differently, and it's technically a whole lot more difficult. But most places, their interest in level 2 charging is, one, it gives the electrical vehicle operator greater options about where they can drive the vehicle, but also they plug in and they have to have something to do. So they go out and they shop or they get something to eat, and it's a tool to drive foot traffic, and then be at the parking lot at Main and East on the side of the parking lot that is not utilized by the farmer's market, but at the back towards the dry cleaner. And we're very happy to be able to be moving that along. And that's tonight's report. We got any questions?
Mr. Goode,
Yes.
you might have mentioned about Beggars Night tomorrow.
Oh, yes. Beggars Night, we understand the weather forecast. When we look at Friday, there are some challenges there. You have both school football teams involved. They'll be going out of town. The weather is not great on Friday. We look at Saturday. You have things like the Ohio State football game, and not the greatest weather predicted. So trick or treat is Thursday from 6 to 8. Okay, now it might rain, so parents need to think about, ponchos or keeping kids reasonably dry, and umbrellas. We're pleased to see the kids out and about. We know that weather isn't going to be ideal. At the end of October, that can always be a challenge. I know some people will say, can you please move this? In the past, you run into the problem when you do that some folks have taken off work, if they work shift work in particular, to be able to have that opportunity with their kids, and then when you move it because of weather, they can't change their schedule requests that they put in at work, and it causes a whole lot of heartache and problems. Again, we understand that the weather considerations, we want everybody to enjoy themselves, do it safely. Motorists that evening, you need to slow down and be conscious of the fact that you're gonna have little ghosts and goblins out and about, and you need to work to keep them safe also. Parents, you need to supervise young children. Okay, young children should not be turned loose on a night like that and just, free for all. They need to be supervised. And participating in trick or treat, it's a lot of fun to see kids out in costumes, and we hope everybody has a great evening. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dennon. Director of Finance, I think you said his wife took him fishing or something, so.
Let's
we're
get
gonna be-
camping.
Oh, well, same difference. Okay, thank you. Mr. City Attorney, Mr. Pittsburgh.
Well, I guess I'm supposed to give a report tonight, so what I would simply say is that my office has been working on assessing mowing grass, and we will be continuing to assess those land owners for the grass mowing that we have done for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully by the next meeting, I'll have some absolute numbers to give the council of how many yards we've mowed, how much we've assessed, and how many cars we have towed. So we should have something for you next week. A lot. Thank you.
I appreciate it, thank you. Next on the agenda is local residents and taxpayers. Seeing nobody has signed up, we'll move to the next page. Legislation previously introduced. Item number A is ordinance number 13, 2021, third reading. Do we want to explain this to them, Dale, the students, how this works?
Yeah, I just tell you, for an ordinance, which is a law, it has to be passed 3 times at 3 different meetings. And this one happens to be up the 3rd time tonight. So it's voted on once for the 3rd reading, and then it's voted on again to pass it. So a resolution is something that isn't a law, it's just something the city is doing. And it needs to be voted on twice before it's adopted. So we'll have both of those going on tonight. I also want to mention while I'm talking, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Hawk, and Mr. Schultz have not been bad. They're usually sitting up here with us. Because of COVID, we have separated ourselves some. So that's why their backs are to you. They're normally sitting up here. But they are obviously members of city council too. So, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lynch. Okay, ordinance number 13, 2021, third reading.
I'll move it, we place ordinance number 13, 2021 on third reading.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion, questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Ordinance number 13-2021, an ordinance authorizing the creation of a joint ambulance district within Fayette County, including the townships and municipal corporations therein, and adopting all resolutions and ordinances appurtenant thereto for the creation thereof.
I'll move for passage on that.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes. Moving on to item B, ordinance number 14, 2021, second reading.
I'll move that we put ordinance number 14, 2021 on second reading.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I have one question. On the attachment for the contract are a list of obligations under Ohio law. I believe, but I don't have a copy with me today, that the obligations under Ohio law and the obligations under our charter are not necessarily identical. would those obligations be included in the contract as well?
I believe so,
Okay.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. My only question would be, because the charter defers to the contract, if the contract would not have the same list that is inside the charter, if there could be a potential, problem.
No, I think that he would be responsible for everything contained in the charter as well as the statutory Ohio Revised Code requirements.
Okay.
And I think they will, actually, they do overlap.
Yeah, there is some overlap. I know that they're not, identical.
Right.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments, discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Ordinance number 14-2021, an ordinance renewing the service contract of Joseph J. Denon for the position of city manager for the city of Washington Courthouse, Fayette County, Ohio.
Thank you. Item C, resolution number R 34/2021, second reading.
I'll move that we place resolution number R 34/2021 on second reading.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Resolution number R 34-2021. A resolution authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager, to enter into a cooperative agreement with the Director of Transportation of the State of Ohio, referencing PID number 112676 for lightning optimization along a portion of US 35 within the city of Washington Courthouse.
Moving.
Oh, go ahead. Who spoke up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, no, I don't have any questions, I'm sorry. I was gonna move for adoption on that.
Okay.
I will second that.
Thank you. That's my mistake. Sorry about that. Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes. Moving on to item D, resolution number R 35/2021, second reading.
I move we place resolution number R 35/2021 on second reading.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Resolution number R 35-2021, a resolution confirming Joseph J. Denon, city manager of the city of Washington Courthouse, appointment of Mr. Ron Sockman to the District 15 Public Works Integration Committee for a term expiring December 31st, 2024.
I'll move for adoption on that.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes. Item E, resolution number R 36/2021, second reading.
I'll move that we place resolution number R 36/2021 on second reading.
Second.
Go ahead, Ted.
Thank you. Any discussion?
For the interest of the young people here, could you kind of explain what this is all about? We're giving 3 acres to the Humane Society for what purpose? It's for them to create and build a new humane society for animals out by the YMCA, out in that area.
A whole new facility, and we're giving the land to them to build their new building on.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Resolution number R 36/2021, a resolution authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager or his designee, to convey 3 acres to the Fayette County Humane Society.
I'll move for adoption on that.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes. Moving into new legislation in writing, resolution number R 37/2021, first reading.
I'll move that we place resolution number R 37/2021 on first reading.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on this one? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Christman.
Yes.
Resolution number R 37/2021, a resolution authorizing Joseph J. Denon, city manager of the City of Washington Courthouse or his designee, to enter into a consent agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the construction of 3.1 miles of bike path for Fayette/Greene County line to Allen Road.
Thank you. We'll move on to miscellaneous. We'll start with the lady on the end, Ms. Hernandez.
Just a quick reminder, November 12th downtown is most of the businesses, open houses for Shop Hop. Should be a fun evening, get to see what's new for Christmas, and it's a great time to just hang out with your community and family and friends, so mark it on your calendars. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Lynch.
Yes, a few years ago, I was asked to speak at a group this time of year, and I wrote a poem. Some of you know I like to write poems. So every year I like to read this poem at this time of year. I call it The Scariest Thing in America. Each time of year when we get to month 10, we think of the same things all over again. It's ghosts and goblins and other scary things, Dracula with his cape, or as a bat with his wings. Wicked witches are present with broomsticks and hats. You're guaranteed to see a great many black cats. There's hobos and trolls to add to the scare. Go to haunted houses only if you dare. A headless horseman may ride by to drive you insane, just like he did poor Ichabod Crane. The werewolves come out at the 12 o'clock hour. Don't go to the Bates Motel if you need a hot shower. There's scary things to the left and right, and don't forget your back. Look out for snakes and spiders when you crawl into your knapsack. Yes, there's all kinds of frightening things this time of the year, but there's one thing that causes me the ultimate fear. If you want to know what scares me, I'll give you this note. The scariest thing in America is the citizen who doesn't bother to vote. And I hope that people will go out and vote next Tuesday. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Blair.
Okay, I'll try to keep it within the 10 minutes. I'll draw it if that's okay.
You're on the clock.
I did see that in the city council notes of how to conduct in the business. I guess we're allowed 10 minutes. So I don't think
You're
anybody's.
down to 8.
Down to 8? Okay,
Yeah, 2
okay.
minutes.
Okay. Well, I would definitely like to welcome our guests here tonight, you young people. This is an exciting time in our county with the election coming up, and also the other ladies that we have here tonight. Your presence is encouraging to show that you do care about what's going on within our city council. Start off, I'd like to commend our city administration and city service department for the expeditious resolution of 4 citizen requests that I have put forth in the last 2 weeks. Now, I realize that government does have the reputation of moving extremely slowly to meet the requests of the citizens. But this is one time everyone involved answered the call quickly. It's a pleasure to see our government work as a team exactly as it is supposed to work. Now, if we could just get our federal government on the ball and do the same, our country would be most benefited and grateful. Also, we have an election coming up next Tuesday, and I would encourage, as Mr. Lynch said, every eligible voter to take advantage of one of our most fundamental and important freedoms and vote. Now, local politics offer a unique opportunity not afforded at the state and federal level. In statewide and federal positions, those who have the backing of powerful lobbies and unlimited money men are the ones who can run for office. However, in our local election process, the average normal citizen like you folks, when you turn of age, you can run for city or county office no matter your social, ethnic, economic, or racial status with a minimal amount of money by simply following local election laws. As I mentioned already, this is kind of a historic time for you young people coming up, and I'm sure Mr. Lynch has alluded to it in class. We have a record number of candidates vying for the honor to sit where we 7 sit right now. There are 4 incumbents amongst us, as well as 7 write-in candidates.
No more politics. If you don't more politics on that, turn it off.
How did I say politics?
I think he's being fair, Jim. Go ahead. I think that's very fair. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, Tim. This to me is democracy in action. As I realized when I ran 2 years ago, it's all about meeting people, listening to them, and doing your best to stand behind what you say you will do when elected. Those who are currently running for council have their own ideas on what they want to do for our city. And isn't that what our democracy is all about? Is the freedom of exchange of ideas? I commend all for wanting to make a difference in our community. One thing I am certain about, their reason for running is not motivated by the amount of money we make.
Amen to
Amen.
that.
Thank you. Also, I would like to commend Mr. Johnson, if Facebook is correct, on his successful bid to achieve official attorney status. Passing his bar is no small accomplishment. Congratulations, sir. That being said, I have a quote tonight from C.S. Lewis. Mr. Lewis said, "You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Can I just add to,
Sure.
when I was teaching government one time, Jim, I asked Tom Rankin, you remember Tom?
Sure.
He was the head of the Republican Party. And I asked him to come in and speak to our class. And I introduced him by saying, this is Mr. Rankin, he's the head of the biggest party in Fayette County. And Tom said, when he got up, "Mr. Lynch, I hate to dispute what you said in front of your class, but the biggest party in Fayette County is the apathy party. There's more people that don't vote than there are that vote for either Republicans or Democrats." So I agree that the most important thing is to go out and vote. And I appreciated how you approached that tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Schultz.
Well, I would like to welcome all of you here tonight. Appreciate you coming. So hopefully you'll be smarter leaving here tonight. We'll see. Have a very safe Beggars Night. I hope everybody has a safe Beggars Night. I want to wish the Blue Lions good luck in their effort in their playoffs Friday night. And I want to encourage everyone to do what is best for you and your family to stay safe and healthy. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hawk.
I just want to welcome all our visitors here tonight, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson. Attorney, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah. Congratulations, Caleb, we didn't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I should have said that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, I want to start off by thanking everyone who came tonight, students and non-students, of course. And yet, it's very true. On October 22nd, I was notified by the Supreme Court that I passed the bar. I passed it by quite a lot, so I can transfer. My score is not only good in Ohio, but in every other state. that accepts a transferred score. Fun fact, Alaska is the state that requires the highest score, so I could even practice law in Alaska. If I wanted to. So I know that obviously a lot of people have been following this, so I just want to say thank you to everyone who wished me well, who prayed for me along the way. And that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Could you
Thank
give us a list of those bars that you passed?
I believe there are 38 states.
38.
38.
By the way, Mr. Schultz, the quarterback for the Blue Lions is sitting back there.
Yes, I know, Troy, I saw him
Oh,
back here. Good job, good job.
Good luck
Good luck
tomorrow
Friday
night.
night.
Yes. Friday night.
Yes, good luck to
You're
the
going to
Lions.
uncharted waters, you know, going down there in Cincinnati and playing a team you don't know anything about, so. Yeah, they're ranked number 3 and we're ranked number 14, so it's good, but good luck.
Okay, thanks to everyone for coming, appreciate it. And I'll hope everybody votes that can, wants to, I hope you do. Also, be safe, watch for the little ones out there, be careful. I know I've been out on raining nights and those little ones out there, if it's raining, man, it's hard to see them. Hard enough sometimes if it isn't raining, so just be careful, I want everybody safe. Congratulations, Mr. Johnson. If I get to Alaska, I'll look you up. I'm joking, I ain't going to Alaska, I don't think you are either. Okay, anyway, thanks again for all you students coming, and you have a good teacher, respect him very much. How about a motion for adjournment?
I'll move to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Hawker,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Christian.
What? Oh, yes.
You're done,